Bonjour mes amis, je m'appelle Tito, je fais des vidéos sur les finances personnelles sur mon autre chaîne, mais sur cette chaîne, je parle d'autres choses comme aujourd'hui où je vais revoir le film Afamefuna, and Nwa Boi Story. Afamefuna follows the journey of Afamefuna Okoli, a young man who goes to Lagos to become a successful businessman through the apprenticeship system that's popular in Igbo culture. Along the way, he learns hard lessons in love, friendship, and betrayal. Afamefuna is directed by Kayode Kasum. Now, this is going to be a special review because I plan on mixing the review with the premiere of Afamefuna, which I attended. And I have to say that this film has been on my radar for a while, since I saw them making it, or since I saw BTS images a few months ago. And it's because at the heart of this film, it's about how young men in Igbo land, how many of them are indoctrinated or brought into, the business world or entrepreneurship and all that through apprenticeship, right? That's a big part of this movie, or a part of this movie, let me put it like that. So, and that's something that I haven't seen in a Nollywood film before, and as a result, I was interested and I'd been looking out for this film. I actually saw this film, Afamefuna, early November at AFRIF, and I have to say, it got some really good reviews at AFRIF. I know people who said that Afamefuna was the best film that they saw at AFRIF this year. Anyway, all those details to one side, let's dive into it, beginning with le performance. Now, Segun Arinze plays the title character Afamefuna, and Stan does a really good job in this film. He navigates the relationships in this film masterfully, if I can put it like that, because in the film he has a dynamic with Ekubo's character Paul, he has a dynamic with Kanayo's character Odogu, and he has a dynamic with Bridget Johnson's character Amaka. And he navigates all those relationships with each of them quite well. I think Stan was the man for the job. My only criticism of his performance was that, well, not his performance per se, but of the character and what they did with the character, was that I don't think we got to see fire from that character. I think Stan is, because of his look and his build and the fact that he's such a fantastic actor, I tend to hope to see him lose his cool, or his character lose his cool in a film, but I don't think I got to see that, at least not to the extent that I would have liked in this film. Ekubo plays Paul in this film, and Ekubo does a really good job in the film. His character is interesting, let me put it like that. You don't know where you necessarily stand with with Paul sometimes. That's the character played by Alex. Ekubo does a really good job once again. And on a side note, Ekubo is doing really well promoting this film. I don't follow him on Instagram, but posts from him tend to find their way to my feed, and I see them. The most recent one I saw was a video of him going to go and see Peter Duce to get his blessings for this film, Afamefuna. And you can just tell that Ekubo is really invested in ensuring that this movie is a success. He was at AFRIF for the screening of the film, and he got lots of love after the screening from the people who saw the movie.
Did you guys enjoy the movie? Yeah. Did you enjoy the movie? Yeah. Thank you, Charles. Thank you. Congrats on your movie, by the way.
I think it's safe to say that people were quite impressed with Ekubo's performance as Paul in the movie. Moving on. Paul Nadiekwe. So he plays young Afam. That's the younger version of Stan Nze's character, right? And let me just say now that you guys need to watch out for this young man. He does a good job in this movie, and I do believe people will be talking about him once they see the film, but also he's the lead, or one of the leads, in the film that Genevieve Naji produced, I Don't Come to You by Chance. She executive produced that film, and I saw that also at AFRIF, and I believe it will be out sometime in 2024. And this guy, Paul, he's in that film and he's one of the leads, and he does really well. I was going to say he does even better in that film than he does in Afamefuna, but I'll let you guys be the judge of that. He does really well in that film, so much so that I do believe in 2024, this guy is going to be the breakout star of 2024, especially if he gets another big role that he does really well in, in 2024. He's the one to watch. Let me just put it like that. And yeah, I think you should follow him now before he blows up. I think he's under 5,000 followers, currently. But by the time, Afamefuna, by the time many people start seeing Afamefuna, by the time I Don't Come to You by Chance comes out as well in 2024, a star. A star, that's all I'm going to say. So we'll move on swiftly to the next actor who plays the younger version of Alex Ekubo's character. His name is Chidera David. He was okay. He was good. Both the younger versions of those two characters, Afam and Paul, right? They were good. They had good chemistry, but I think the older versions, played by Alex Ekubo and Stanze, they had better chemistry. Chidera David did well. I have to say I wasn't as impressed with his performance as I was with Paul Nadiekwe's performance, though. But Chidera David did really well, and I look forward to seeing him in other things. I think he has a lot of potential. Atlanta Bridget Johnson. I haven't seen her since Man of God, like 2 years ago. So in this film, she plays Amaka, this young lady who, comes into the picture and is the object of affection of one of the main characters in the movie. I wouldn't say which one. She does okay. I see why they went with her. I wish she had a more prominent role in the film. For example, she doesn't, according to me, other people may disagree, but according to me, she didn't speak a whole lot in the film, and I would have liked to have heard more from that character Amaka in this film, especially seeing as she was a bit integral in the story. But to Atlanta's performance, she did okay. I'm in two minds regarding Atlanta's performance. I see how they wanted somebody who is fair-skinned like her and who is like, very, what's the word? Very pristine and very beautiful and pretty in that way. I see how they wanted somebody that looked like Atlanta. She's a very attractive, fair-skinned woman. But on the other hand, dialogue-wise, especially since there's lots of Igbo speaking in this film, I somehow wish we got somebody that is as proficient in Igbo as, like, Chioma Chukwuka. I would have cast Chioma Chukwuka because she's not, in the age bracket of this character, but somebody who speaks Igbo as fluently as that, I would have loved to have seen, a combination of that with the looks that Atlanta Bridget Johnson has as well. But nonetheless, she did really well, and once again, her dynamic with her co-stars in this film was good enough. Yes, it was interesting to see. The moments where she's on screen with certain characters in this film really did garner some reactions from the audience. I want to say something so bad, but I don't want to ruin it for you guys. Moving on, Kanayo is in the movie as well as Odogu. I'll say it. Let me not say it. So Odogu is Amaka's father in the film. So that's the last and only spoiler you guys are going to get from me. But anyway, back to Kanayo. He's good. It was nice to see him in this role. Also, I wish we got a bit more from him. But he was good. It was nice to see him in the role, and it was nice to see the dynamic he plays as, as this bridge between Alex Ekubo's character and Stanze's character. Yeah, so he's the common denominator between two of them, if I can put it that way. Finally, Segun Arinze is in the film, speaking in multiple languages. Funny enough, this is the second film this year where I'm seeing Segun Arinze speak Hausa. So I wonder if he's fluent in Hausa in real life. But it was interesting to see. I do like seeing our Nollywood actors speak different languages or do different things, right? It shows a bit of versatility and dynamism. So it was nice to see him do that. He plays CSP Gidado. Is it CSP? Yes, CSP Gidado, a police officer. And yeah, you don't really know what the guy's motive is. You don't know if he's a good guy or a bad guy in the film, kind of at certain points. But yeah, Segun Arinze was nice to see in the film. I mean, generally with all the performances there are ways that I wish they could have been better, right? But yeah, I mean, when it comes to Nollywood films, I do wish a lot of things. Let me just put it that way. I need to just be satisfied with what I get from our Nollywood actors. Ce que j'ai aimé. You know, I like that this film was different. It's not your conventional Nollywood film. There's that. And I'm yet to see like an Igbo-centric Nollywood film at the cinema that I did not like. Every film that is like Igbo-centric that I've seen at the cinema I've enjoyed, and this one was no different. I also like the fact that this film kind of at its core was about how in Igbo community or in Igbo culture, young men are brought into the business and how they're, how apprenticeship works in Igbo land. So yeah, I like that about the film as well. Ce que je n'ai pas aimé. This movie kind of drags at a point. I mean, I remember watching and just thinking that, yeah, we get the picture. He's doing this thing. Can we move on to the next thing? Another thing I didn't like about the film was I felt like the characters they could have been more dynamic, more three-dimensional. I felt like they were quite, two-dimensional, for the most part. They could have had a bit more of a backstory or some more things going on with their lives, right? Or like some subplots with them. But I personally feel like we didn't get that. And I have to say, I kind of understand. I'm learning to manage my expectations with Nollywood films these days because I like dynamic things and I like deep stories, but apparently most of the Nigerian audience doesn't really like meaty or three-dimensional stories or characters. From conversations I've had lately, and I'm learning this, right? And I say this because I may need to start cutting filmmakers some slack, because the filmmakers may actually want really three-dimensional, meaty characters that have a very good backstory and have a lot going on in their lives. They may want that, but it may dawn on them that the audience doesn't want that. The audience wants a very simple character, two-dimensional, that can just take the story from point A to point B. The third thing I didn't like about this film was, and this may surprise you, especially seeing as I've been going on and on about this particular point, the apprenticeship elements in this film, in Igbo culture and Igbo land, I feel like they didn't do enough with it. I didn't learn new things, and I went into this film hoping to learn a few things about that whole dynamic of apprenticeship and young men learning the ropes in Igbo businesses, right? Or Igbo business, right? Or entrepreneurship and ventures and whatnot. I feel like I didn't get that. Not to say that you won't learn a few things and, all that apprenticeship and business stuff isn't in there. It is, but they just didn't go deep with it. That's just all I'm saying. In conclusion, this was a really good film. I'm going to rate it now, and I don't know if my rating is going to reflect the statement that I just made, right? But over 5 jollofs, I give Afamefuna 2.5 jollofs. Yeah, 2.5 over 5. I know people who saw Afamefuna at AFRIF and said it was the best film that they saw at AFRIF this year. I know people who were blown away by the film. Maybe I'm just a bit strict with my ratings. I don't know, but hey, you guys can be the judge of it when you eventually do see the film Afamefuna. If you guys enjoyed this review, I really hope that you did. Please do me a favor and like this video by clicking on the like button just underneath the video, and subscribe to my channel as well by clicking on the black subscribe button. On this channel, I don't just do Nollywood movie reviews. I also talk about relationships from time to time. You can check out some of my past Nollywood reviews and my past relationship videos by clicking the card in the corner of the screen. In the card in the corner of the screen, you'll also find a link to the YouTube channel that hosts my podcast called the 30-Minute Podcast. On that podcast, I just talk about things that are on my mind, and particularly things that I see on social media. I really enjoy my podcast, and I think it's worth you checking out. Even if you don't necessarily like my podcast, please do me a favor and just go there and subscribe, because I'm trying to build the numbers. The subscriber count is really low, and that's a bit tough for somebody who's been on YouTube for so long. So please help me change that by subscribing to the channel, even if you don't stick around too long to listen to or to watch episodes of the podcast. Just head over there and subscribe, and just know that you'll be doing me a huge favor by doing that. And while we're talking about favors, I hope you've liked this video. Just glance down at that like, that thumbs up, and check the color of it. You'll know if you have or if you haven't. If you haven't, please click on it, like this video, and subscribe to this channel as well. And please feel free to share this video with anyone who you feel might enjoy it. I hope you guys have enjoyed this special review that, you know, had a bit of the premiere thrown into it. Once you've seen Afamefuna, please let me know what you thought about the film in the comment section down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will catch you in the next one. Take care.